Good morning, everyone. I am Shannon Fasone from Smart Title Insurance Company in Spring Lake, New Jersey, and I am super honored to be joined by some incredible people at this table, and I'm going to start by letting everybody know who we have. To my right, I have Michele Clark from Birdsall and Laughlin Law Firm in Wall, New Jersey. To my left, I have Abdel Kawatmi from PRMG Got Mortgages here in-house at Eatontown, New Jersey. He was nice enough to host us for this podcast. Usually we're in the jungle meeting room. Today we are in the conference room. So we are moving on up. And then our honored guest is Kevin Garrison from the Blessing Bag Brigade, which is really what brought us all together because as many of you, I'm sure, have a deep shared sense of pride for our veterans, Kevin being one. So first and foremost, I'm going to say it again. Thank you for your service, sir. And thank you for joining us today. We want to learn more about what you've started, how you've started, and how you dedicated to showing compassion and humanitarianism to those in need. So I know, Abdel, this was super important to you.
Yep.
You reached out after we did an event with Kevin and you wanted to do this. So why did you want to get involved with Kevin?
Yeah, I mean, so I'm in the world of mortgages, which is always fun and dandy. But recently I moved down to Toms River about 2 years ago. So been doing a lot of different VA loans.
Oh, okay.
And that's been a big part where a lot of different veterans themselves just truly don't know what are the options that are out there, just from a financing perspective.
Yeah.
Right, and I've had so many situations with veterans being, working and we're approving them and stuff like that, and so on and so forth. So truly, as they've put their lives on the line or are putting their lives on the line, our job is to make sure that we make as much of the resources that are there that I know of from a financing perspective available. And then when I saw the event that you guys had, I was like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Because we have done, from the women's empowerment with the organization you guys have been a part of, to the Providence House, to different runs for this. And I truly just don't think our vets with an organization like yours truly get the attention that we really should do. And it's the least that we can get all of us together to do that. So.
Which is like such a, like a left and a right side of things, because here we're talking about homeownership, which is kind of the opposite, sadly and devastatingly, that you see. So Kevin, I just want to throw it to you because tell us what you've been seeing, how you got this started, and where you got to where you're now.
All right, so in 2016, I saw a social media post that was going to change my life forever.
Wow.
And what it was a picture of this. It was a gallon-sized Ziploc bag, and inside that bag were things like water, snacks, socks, toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, razor, hygiene items.
Yeah.
And my friend wrote, "What a cool idea." And I thought, yeah, that is a pretty cool idea. Because I was working in New York City, seeing the homeless on a daily basis, and just always wished there was something I could do for them. And I could totally identify with their feelings, hopelessness, loneliness, despair. I recently got diagnosed with PTSD myself, so I know that is a big struggle for many veterans, and sometimes, like myself, we don't even discover it for many years down the line. And some veterans do discover it and fall apart. They don't get the proper mental health they need. So anyway, I thought, maybe I can hand these out on the streets, and if I can make people not feel the way I felt for that one moment, maybe it's something that I've done right. So got my friends together in this gym I belong to, and I said, hey, I want to do these blessing bag things, they were called. And my friends started bringing stuff to my apartment and started filling up my place with supplies like this. And every day I would come home from work in the morning, there would be new supplies on my stoop, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So I wound up handing out like 200 bags in 2 weeks. Wow. And I would just walk around Penn Station, New York, and I was, just blown away that people wanted these. Because when you think about it, you see people give money or people give food, but people aren't giving razors.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, most of us know that socks are the number1 thing that people use. And, definitely don't get toothbrush and toothpaste. And so I met this guy, Barry, who was at Penn Station, and he suffered from depression, and he had anxiety issues, And so he's the one who actually showed me around Penn Station and showed me who all the homeless were.
Really?
Because how would you know, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Could be some guy dirty just coming home from work. Could be a guy cleaned up who just cleaned himself up well.
Right.
You know, so I met so many different people and it was just amazing. And I thought that was great. You know, I help out in New York, but I live here in New Jersey. You know, I live right around here. Like, what's going on where I live? So I started going to these places called soup kitchens and food pantries, which you guys are familiar with, and realized that they were giving food, but not much else. They weren't giving socks, they weren't giving razors, they weren't giving soap and lotion and things like that that people like really needed to feel good.
Yeah.
You know, they were getting fed, but not by everything. And so I went to this one place in Keensburg, and you know, if we open up this bag and take out a shampoo bottle, you know, this one's probably 1 ounce, it's a very small bottle. But a guy jumped up and down and thanked me for like a whole minute for this thing, you know? And I was like, I just couldn't believe it, because as you guys know, you could, at that time, you could go to a dollar store and pick one up for $1.
Right.
But now you have this big, large thing that you have to carry around if you're not housed. So how are you going to do that? How many of those are you going to carry around?
Yeah.
Sure.
So by giving smaller items, they're able to stick them in their pockets, stick it in their backpack, and have it for, you know.
You don't even think about things like that.
I know.
You know, it's like and you're like, oh wow, that makes total sense.
Right.
And you want to get the bigger stuff so they have more, but
Gets heavy.
logistically,
Yeah.
how are they going to
Yeah.
carry it? Wow.
Yeah, so, you know, and, you know, our idea is not to stop homelessness, because this statement I can't even stand, because we're not going to.
Yeah.
Things happen.
Yeah.
People can't support themselves for many different reasons, mental illness, and can everyone have a house? Yeah, but can they maintain a house? It's really tough, and you know, doing mortgages, if they don't know how to pay your bills,
Oh, yeah.
you know, they
You
don't
lose
get
it.
anywhere.
Right.
So, you know, it's a whole, like, it's much more than just giving someone a house, or giving someone an apartment, or giving someone something. So, our idea with this is that we're just showing compassion and humanitarianism. Hey, we care. Hey, clean your teeth. Hey, wash your hair.
Manageable.
Hey, you know, feel better about yourself. And maybe you don't have to feel like lonely, desperate, and things like that. So we started going to different soup kitchens around the Jersey Shore, and I realized, wow, like nobody's doing this. Like nobody's giving these items. And if they were, it was sporadic.
Sure.
You know? So now we travel around different soup kitchens, food pantries, shelters, of which, you know, there's none in Ocean County, and Monmouth County has very few. And we hand these out at those places. We hand out, ready for this? We hand out 2,000 to 3,000 of these a month.
Wow.
A month?
2,000 to 3,000 a month.
Wow.
And so that's why we call on people like you guys to help us get these supplies, because I'm just one guy, I can't do it myself.
Well, you're
You know?
one major guy. I mean, you started a whole movement, which is pretty incredible.
That's awesome.
And obviously, it's our beyond pleasure to get
Yeah.
involved and
Thanks.
help. And
Thanks.
which leads us to what we're going to be doing. Hopefully, everybody watching can tell everyone you know we have a bunch of drop locations that we've all come together. PRMG here in Eatontown, 1 Main Street. Bertzel and Laughlin has jumped on board in Wall. KW Shore Properties in Toms River, and Sweat 440 in Toms River. Smart Title is also in Spring Lake. We're all drop locations. The Jewelry Joint on Arnold Ave, Point Pleasant. And our buddy here, Abdel, likes to salsa dance with his wife. And Shall We Dance New Jersey in Toms River, they're in the Home Goods Plaza, has been nice enough to offer their studio for us to all get together on September 28th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So we can make this an even bigger mission. We can let Kevin, again, tell more people what we're trying to do. We're gonna bring all the donations that we're gonna have everybody get together and bring it all together, and then we're gonna put them in these gallon-sized Ziploc bags to make it easier for you guys to distribute.
And Shannon, if they want, they can drop these off at 55 South
Oh.
Avenue, which is our kindness center, and just mark it that it's for this event. And
Oh,
we can just
perfect.
bring those with us too. You know what
And
I
that's
mean?
where
So,
in
Atlantic
Atlantic Highlands, 55,
Yeah.
say it again.
South Avenue.
I'm sure we'll put
Atlantic
captions
Highlands.
on that for that one.
Yeah.
For those of us who are visual instead of
Yes,
audio.
yes.
Wait, so tell me again when you started doing this. So how long, how many years?
So since 2016.
16.
So we're on
And you started
December,
with a-
December 11th.
Interesting. So you're
December
coming up on an anniversary in a few months.
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
Yeah. And it's blossomed into so much more than, you know, just this. So how we get the supplies is important.
Sure.
We go on social media and basically beg for supplies. You know,
We're gonna beg for you.
yeah, and usually what we do is like from the 1st through the 10th, we'll beg for supplies and ask people, you know, let them know what we're doing. And then from the 20th to the last day of the month, kind of tell stories about what's going on, who we affected, how they were affected, maybe, you know, feel good stories from people volunteering to people accepting, you know, so there's so much going on. And then we also run 2 soup kitchens. So we run a soup kitchen in Long Branch on Tuesday evenings, and then we run one in Freehold on Wednesday and Thursday afternoons. And, you know, great volunteer opportunity for people who maybe kids are in school, they want to come out, or they need their kids to have volunteer opportunities.
Hours, yeah.
There's a ton of stuff on our website that they can get involved in. And there's so much more.
When do you sleep, Kevin? Like here now, like I started thinking like, man, I gotta go start doing more stuff. Jesus, when do you sleep? That's incredible. That's like absolutely a higher mission that you
totally
dedicated yourself to.
Yeah, like it wasn't something I expected. You know, like I did this really as a Christmas project in 2016. Figured I'll do this, I'll do something good.
Right.
And then, you know, I'll move on with my life. And then, you know, I always say God had other plans, so I'm a believer. So he, you know, I just believe he guided me to this, and, you know, it hasn't stopped. I figured, you know what, I'll do this for a while, my friends will stop giving me stuff, and I can go on. And they didn't, and it just kept showing up. And, you know, it just shows that it's not all bad out there. You know,
sometimes you need to
really
hear that,
good.
right?
Yeah.
You listen to the news and you see what's going on, and even the mission that we're all trying to do this. I mean, you say the words homeless vets and like your heart breaks.
Yeah.
Like and it's not even, it's just that how can they just be left in a way that is
Yeah.